Yeah, I think in a way that even if we were to lose, I'd feel happy for C9 because I have a lot of good friends there, and I think at some point, like, they do deserve it. Like, they've put in so much effort, and it has to happen at some point, right? And you know, I would have felt really bad if I were to lose to them in finals last split when I left C9 to join Team Liquid. But now that I've already won, like, you know, I feel like I can share a bit and I can give Cloud9 one. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna win, but losing to C9 wouldn't be the end of the world.
Well, he definitely shared a little bit last game as Nisqy got the better of him a couple of times. Cloud9, not a team to lose a game and then just keep on losing. We're tied up.
Yeah, we definitely are. A little bit of generosity with that teleport in Nisqy's face, perhaps.
Suspicious, actually.
And in case you're just now joining us, welcome back to Little Caesars Arena here for the LCS Summer Finals presented by Rocket Mortgage. We are tied up 1-1. Team Liquid having a strong showing there in the first game. Cloud9 doing the same thing in the second as we get our way into this third game where once again Team Liquid will be on the blue side.
And these two teams, for me, really exemplify two classic styles. Team Liquid, front-to-back, 5-person team fighting Doublelift and Jensen on these carries for mid and late game team fights. But Cloud9, hard engaged, getting in there very quick and very fast into the game. They showed in this one, number 2, how they can also win games through these very quick engages to set them up for diving towers, for making plays through the jungle and use that to control their objectives.
Cloud9 is back on cat duty as we make our way into the third champion select. Yuumi banned away from them first ban. Sona's also going to be joining it, keeping that one away from Doublelift as Team Liquid is going to focus the solo lanes. Irelia banned out, I can completely understand. And Kiana also taken away.
Yeah, Irelia, I believe, was their blue side game, one ban as well. So didn't ban it on the red side. It is back on the table. The Kiana, the Gragas, as expected, coming through.
Yeah, same ban so far. I would expect Cloud9. And they leave up the Akali this time around. That should be an instant lock for Jensen. Just currently on this patch, Akali does so much damage. She's very hard to answer in a side lane later on, as well as having the invisibility to navigate team fights.
This to me, though, is saying Cloud9 wants to go Xayah Rakan. Right here, 1-2. After that, Akali gets locked in because you are kind of baiting this Akali. You're banning out the Caitlyn for the Caitlyn Morgana. You're saying, Doublelift, you will not play Draven with that Morgana. You will not play that other counter, but perhaps we're not even going to see the Xayah Rakan, and that becomes a lot more surprising than to me as a left-up ban. Well, okay, we're getting one part.
Yeah, we're going to get the Xayah locked in here, along with the Sylas that we've seen banned out the previous two games.
Team Liquid have shown they are very willing to break up the Xayah Rakan combo, just getting Rakan for CoreJJ, so I don't expect it to be any different here. Even if you do play the Leona into it, giving up that combo is so devastating early on. It is going to be that Alistar that's been banned out. Zeyzal, one of the best at sneaking into these pockets of Fog of War to find those flanking gauges for Cloud9, to find those team fights we were just talking about for them with the very quick, hard engage coming at you very early.
And this is already an exciting draft because of the fact that 3 out of these first 6 picks are previous bans from the other games. Akali, Sylas, Alistar all active here as Cloud9 are going to hit the jungle pool a little bit, ban out the Trundle.
Yeah, you're banning the Trundle, you're then saying, okay, TL, you have to ban out Sejuani here, or we are going to pick it as our next pick, first round of that second kind of phase of picks. Kled going to be taken off the table, though. So with the Irelia banned out, with the Kled banned out, you can take an opposite approach and say, no, we're going to ban out the things that pair well with that Sejuani, perhaps, and reduce some of your threat in that way. There is also something along the lines of Renekton, which can work quite well, as a pairing with Sejuani. So we'll see if TL want to leave that up, or if they are going to take that Sejuani away.
Olaf banned out by Cloud9 here.
They're probably thinking that there's a high likelihood of the Sylas being jungle too.
Yeah.
So that might be one of the big things. They have to think about what ultimates are going to be stolen as well. What are they going to shore up as far as the Kled ban too? Aatrox is still available. It's been one of the champions. Impact has really controlled a lot of team fights for Team Liquid and give them a lot of that even footing.
Karma, the last ban away.
Where are the cheers? There we go.
Fans around the country rejoice.
I mean, that to me says that TL wants Aatrox for Impact, trying to avoid that matchup, which is pretty annoying in the early levels. Karma played a lot worldwide into that. but taking away the Aatrox here, as you say, you know, Sylas can easily be going to that jungle, and this does give them a little bit more flexibility. Wouldn't surprise CGP though.
When am I going to see more North American top laners play Camille besides Ruin? Who is going to be willing to do it? It has been so effective in the LCK in Korea, but you know, GP, as you mentioned, has been one of Impact's most played champions, best champions as well. So it might be them just sticking with what they have known.
Nope. Lizard locked in for the side of Team Liquid. Renekton, the choice to go up against that Aatrox.
Yeah, another pretty strong matchup actually, you know, into the Aatrox. These days, people are just doing the straight Shojin rush pretty much every single game. You with the slice and dice, you can actually avoid the sweet spots on a lot of these Aatrox queues, and you are going to have a lot of early game power. And we're just waiting for this jungle pick here for Xmithie. And you know, anything he grabs, you have a lot of early game potential and really good setup with this Renekton.
Well, here we go again. Skarner locked in for TL. They still have faith in Xmithie. Remember, his second loss of his LCS career handed to him on this champion by Cloud9 last game. Still having faith in the pick, and rightfully so. Cloud9 looking like they're gonna run back the same jungle matchup here with the Sejuani.
Yeah, those Trundle bans, it turns out, you know, likely will result in the Sejuani pick here. This means they are going to have Sylas as a solo laner. I'm expecting that to go to Nisqy in the mid lane. We have seen this Sylas versus Akali matchup so many times, especially when you think back to MSI. This was such a prevalent matchup, and Sylas, you know, can really come out on top.
Oh, you're bringing up MSI where Caps defeated Jensen in both sides of the Sylas Akali matchup. Ooh. You know, like he has learned from the experience, though. Let's see how well Nisqy can do. Generally early, I like Akali. Plus, they've got the Renekton on the top side, so I feel like Team Liquid this time around, Xmithie does have quite a few options. That being said, Sejuani pairs so well with both Aatrox and the Sylas as far as getting those snap initiations. You can close the distance and get permafrost up very quickly.
And this was also actually the matchup that he played in game 1 against Clutch, you know, against Damonte, where Damonte was the one who came out on top and was able to get that solo kill in the 1v1. So we'll see if Jensen can fare better here today against Nisqy's Sylas.
And as we work our way onto the Rift, the man who I'm going to be watching the closest in the first few minutes of gameplay is Svenskeren once again. Game number 1, the first gank fails, the flash is expended. The early game just completely runs out of gas for Cloud9, and Liquid ends up running them over. Game number 2, he gets off to the start that he was looking for. He takes over the whole map, and Cloud9 goes with him. I feel like he's the catalyst for the entirety of the early game for both sides.
Thus far, too, so goes the bottom lane, so goes the game. This time around, Sneaky on the Xayah Doublelift on the Kaisa. Who's going to be able to get the early edge?
The gates are down, the champions are out. Everybody's out onto Summoner's Rift here to see who's gonna pull ahead, take us to that match point. Team Liquid rocking that mid lane Akali that did so much work in the past. But as we wait for minions to collide, we got another sideline report standing by for all y'all. Ovely is here with the newest addition to 100 Thieves.
Thanks, guys. I am here with Yasuo, the newest addition to 100 Thieves content team. I gotta ask you, we are standing in the middle of the arena. What do you think of Detroit in the finals so far?
The finals are great. The people are great. This might be like my favorite finals, and the games aren't even over.
That being said, who are you rooting for here today?
I gotta go with Team Liquid. I'm assuming they're gonna go 3-1. That's my prediction. I gotta go with my roommate, Jensen. Also, you said content creation. I might go pro soon, just saying. Watch out for that. So.
How soon?
Next split, we're talking.
Next split, you heard it here first. Let's see Yasuo move in there, but thank you, and back to you guys.
Hey, fellow One Trick, it is hard to play in competitive environments as a One Trick. When you name yourself after a champion, I'm able to count the amount of tricks you have on one finger. Let's see if Yasuo can make that happen in the future.
All right, quickly going in for the Aftershock trade there. You can see this is different from the Conqueror that we have seen pretty prevalent as well. Neither of them opting for that Keystone stacking up. It's about that burst trade for both of them. Electrocute versus the extra resistances from Aftershock, and Nisqy goes back in again.
Nisqy trying to get the early edge on Jensen there in the trade, but Jensen making sure he prolonged it long enough to get that damage back. Bottom side, Zeyzal and Sneaky, Doublelift and CoreJJ. Both times in these previous games, it has been the blue side constantly keeping the red side shoved up underneath the turret. We've seen the Drake go blue both times early on, as Zeyzal just tries to knock these guys around a little bit. And Nisqy does not stop here in the mid lane. However, Jensen with the tower shot looking to turn things back around, as Sneaky is also taken very low bottom side.
Yeah, look at the evolution of summer spells too. Both bottom lanes taking heal and ignite for themselves. Sneaky and Zeyzal getting pushed off the minion wave as Doublelift gets to that level 2.
Yeah, heal down, potion down, no teleport. So if you can keep this pressure up, keep Sneaky low, an early recall can be pretty devastating. They're actually going to take this lane pressure to get a deep ward here over by that blue buff. Knowing that both of those camps are up does tell you that Svenskeren did a full camp clear on the top side, and they're going to be knowing this Sejuani can be heading their way.
No more sustain in the mid lane.
Nisqy, he's in trouble, and he's first blood. Jensen grabs it, but Svenskeren's there to clean up.
But that solo kill going to Jensen so big. You know, Nisqy not alive to get that experience. He gets no goal but the assist here. And Jensen off to a great start. Double longsword is the buy.
Yeah, the big thing about getting first blood, all of the money for it goes over to the killer. Jensen gets the bonus there. Meanwhile, the assisted kill is actually a big thing to have the extra assist money on the side of Cloud9, but it's split, and Nisqy only gets half. Take a look at him going in for this trade. Really nice land of the E there for Jensen. He knows he can chase it at that point. I think there might have been a little bit of miscommunication from Cloud9 between Svenskeren and Nisqy, because if Nisqy communicated a bit earlier that he was going to go for this dangerous trade with Jensen and bait him in, I think they could have pulled that off without a death.
Svenskeren making his way into mid lane. Jensen using the smoke and the speed to get away from the chains.
Yeah, the wave here was actually in a pretty difficult spot. Nisqy decided to run back to lane, and Svenskeren failed to push in the wave fully. So with that TP from Jensen, he was actually able to pull the wave to the side and start a partial freeze. But Svenskeren now heading to that bottom side, looking to prey on the TL bottom lane as he did in game 2.
Here we go. Zeyzal's got the flash to start things off. CoreJJ and Doublelift in retreat. Their health bars aren't looking bad at all.
Burning through summoner spells like nothing down here on the bottom side. Only 2 remain, CoreJJ and Sneaky with their flashes from that visit from Svenskeren. Once again, Svenskeren just visited mid lane, so Team Liquid could communicate that he's headed down to the bottom side. Xmithie now.
Here comes the Skarner. Zeyzal and Sneaky, they're low on mana. Sneaky's gonna be tagged there by the Skarner poison, but now Zeyzal's got no way out, and Doublelift's grabbing the kill.
He ran right over the scuttle in the C9. Bottom lane did not back off fast enough.
It's something I highlight all the time, but punishing offensively blown summoner spells. Cloud9 just used that flash and then engaged for their side to try and get onto Doublelift, and then Doublelift is saying, hey, this guy flashed on me, immediately punish this Alistar. Xmithie, don't let him get away with it. And there comes your trusty jungler.
For both sides, the jungler's heavily investing here in this bottom lane. CoreJJ going in after Sneaky. Remember, Sneaky's still got the flash ready to go. Xmithie in hot pursuit, wants to go for the auto attack, not gonna be able to. TP coming in, Sneaky's in some trouble, not gonna be taken down just yet. The damage is not there, and Xmithie is going home in a body bag. Cloud9 reinforcements have arrived.
Party time in the bottom lane! Everybody is arrived except for Jensen, who has no teleport. And this is going to be C9 trying to push in the wave. However, Jensen gets a full one into the mid lane tower, and he already had the CS lead due to the early gank and the aftermath of that one. So Akali, once again for Team Liquid, in the hands of Jensen, with this big lead, is going to be such a hope for them moving towards the mid game and possibilities of side lane pressure.
So it was actually that ward rush that saw Sneaky walk into that forward ward, and that is why they call Xmithie down to try to get this free gank and kill off Sneaky. Sneaky just barely able to flash away though, as Svenskeren had just barely enough CC to actually lock down the Skarner and keep his AD safe.
Yeah, it's interesting there. Cloud9 do get the kill, but still Team Liquid ahead in gold here. Jensen denying a lot of both gold and experience to that mid tower. You can see Nisqy is still level 5 on the Sylas. If you continue to put the Sylas behind in this matchup, the Akali with the kill pressure here is going to be super happy.
I mean, Jensen's almost 7. Jensen is 7. That's, you know, a huge lead right now, you know, over a level. at this moment in time. I'm assuming Nisqy is going to be closing in on 6 here, but still, that is a very big deal. You know, getting towards that Q max, an additional point in that ability, is going to help you out a lot.
Now, one of the biggest things when comparing these two mid laners has been the emphasis on roaming for Nisqy and Jensen with lane domination. But this game is a game where you are looking at the Akali with multiple opportunities across the map. So will Team Liquid make use of Jensen's early start here and try and get him to move around and pick up more kills? If the bottom lane continues to burn summoner spells basically on cooldown, then it should be a hot spot for action.
Yeah, Xmithie also 1 camp off 6. I wonder if he can leech enough experience here to actually get 6 if there is a potential fight, because Svenskeren has it. He did get 6 off those minions.
Everybody's ready to go, and Nisqy has stolen the Akali ultimate. Perfect executions could be going back and forth. Xmithie coming around trying to maybe find the stun onto Svenskeren, but both sides gonna walk away there. The flail plus the Skarner shield dissuading both sides from going near one another. All right, no fight.
There's a roam from top side. You can also keep track of impact there on the Renekton. Pushed in the wave versus Licorice and threatened to move down. So all these factors here contributing to them calling off the mid lane play. Now bottom lane moves up.
Oh, we are not done yet. Xmithie has found his target, and Svenskeren is going to be the focus here at the beginning. CoreJJ and Doublelift coming around from behind. Jensen's able to grab kill number 1. Sneaky's going to be dropping down for kill number 2. Cloud9 grabbing one in response, but Zeyzal's in some trouble. It's beef for dinner, and the Alistar's going to fall. Xmithie needs one more hit for it, but he's trying to give it over to Doublelift. He'll go on a killing spree, and TL win the fight.
Yep, creating that play around the mid lane, their center of power. Even though it's the early roam up there, Cloud9 having an extra member fall.
Yeah, the big winner here has got to be Doublelift. 3-0-0 now on the scaling champion of the Xayah. Going to be monstrously strong, and here it is one more time, poking off that passive. Full CC chain, very well done here, from Xmithie and Jensen. You can see Jensen was holding his R2 to try to avoid skill shots, try to avoid abilities there.
Yeah, and also waiting for the aftershock to fall off of Sejuani so he can complete the burst. As we said, even though C9 bottom lane roams first, Doublelift and CoreJJ immediately take down Sneaky. So they're able to get the trailing member of Cloud9, and without that marksman there, he chased down the extra kill. And it is now a very strong Xayah to wheel with.
CoreJJ fighting for some control here over the vision with Zeyzal, as we might actually see the first contested first Drake, I should say, of the series. Usually these have gone over to whichever team was ahead at the time. Considering this game is still pretty close, Cloud9 are deciding they want to start things up here, pulling it out of the pit. TL hanging around nearby.
They don't want to give it up here. They've got such a massive gold lead in this game. When the controller in the Pixel Brush sees him, ultimate on Skarner not available, nor on Sejuani.
The Drake's gonna be taken low. Here goes Zeyzal looking to start things off. Xmithie gonna be brought very low, brought down. Now the damage coming right back into the Cloud9 line. Licorice grabbing the kill onto Xmithie. CoreJJ getting away. Double kill over to 2 Licorice, as it's also gonna be a double for Jensen. Can they find more? It looks like yes. Jensen is gone, and Licorice gets the spree. CoreJJ is now trapped in the enemy jungle, and Cloud9 will hunt him down.
Zeyzal showing that they should have banned the Alistar again. That engage for Cloud9 will, in the end, get them 4 kills on top of the Mountain Drake. What a massive play here for Cloud9. All started off the back of this Alistar. The Sejuani ults down, the Skarner ults down, then it's up to Zeyzal.
Yeah, Nisqy dashing in the middle of everyone. He had stolen the Renekton ult, giving him so much additional tankiness. Now watch Doublelift here. This could have been even worse for them. Ulting across the fight to actually get over to Sneaky and escape this 3-man squad from Cloud9 that was running rampant through this Team Liquid team. And despite the fact that this is a 3v3, it's all full health bars on Cloud9.
Nisqy, Svenskeren, and Licorice, the 3 Bash Bros there for Cloud9. Unstoppable wrecking crew, able to clean that one up.
And the most damage in the fight goes over to Licorice on this Aatrox, having to play against it the past 2 games, now getting his chance to pilot it himself and doing a damn fine job so far. 3-0 and 0 as Team Liquid have control over the topside river. They'll take down Shelly, but they've still got to secure the eye. Cloud9's going to be fighting for this one. TP's coming in. Zeyzal the target. Impact also going to be brought very low. Nearly bursted down. He gets away, but only for a moment. The stunts continue over the wall, and Xmithie is on the run. Nisqy stays alive while zoning away the rest of Team Liquid, and Xmithie falls. It's 2 plus Rift Herald for the side of Cloud9. Team Liquid trying to do something off the back end of the fight. They will lose their mid laner. Yes, they got the Rift Herald, but C9 get 3.
Cloud9, again, using the difference in pace to their advantage. The multiple forms of hard CC we mentioned in Champion Select for them to choose the team fights. They continue to fire, and Team Liquid unable to react quick enough. CoreJJ and Doublelift, the lone members of Team Liquid, left to pick up the scraps as the minions feed into the tower.
Jensen's eyes, I think he just got a little bit too big there. As you see these low health bars, he didn't have his ultimate, so there wasn't much chance of a flank, but now the TP coming in here, looking for Nisqy, who is without that ultimate.
Oh, Jensen is bloodthirsty here. Second 5-point strike, not gonna find the mark, and Jensen won't get anything.
We'll at least be able to push this in, you know, get that TP down. But here it is one more time, and the engage again from Zeyzal. He is just engaging these on a dime, and Nisqy coming in from behind, grabs the ult from Akali, and this is what allowed him to really dive deep and chase in here. The TL bottom lane were almost able to burst him down, but not quite. So Jensen is seeing, all right, Nisqy's really low. Licorice just took a bunch of tower shots. Maybe I can do something here, but he didn't have the ultimate up yet. And he just gets locked down and knocked down as the trample from Alistar reveals where you are in that stealth.
Cloud9 fully aligned on that play. You can see as soon as they see Impact isolated from the rest of the team, Zeyzal pushes everyone off to create room for the rest of his team. And it just seems like Cloud9 are so much more confident in these earlier plays, and the timing's coming through. Team Liquid having a hard time to get that reset.
Jensen trying to get away from Nisqy here, returning some damage in the mid lane. Zeyzal makes his way over. He knocks Jensen out of the smoke, but Nisqy is very low. CoreJJ is not going to provide the CC they need, and Svenskeren has shown up on the side.
Once again, Cloud9 with the outplay. Nisqy steals the quickness, zooms right away, and that is a denial of the kill. Doublelift farming the whole time up on the top side, will whittle away at the turret for Team Liquid.
But look at Svenskeren, he's behind him, so is Zeyzal. They're gonna try to set up this dive here.
Svenskeren and Zeyzal providing the CC. Nisqy's there for the damage, but the smoke is down and Jensen's kept alive. C9's dive will not find the mark, but now they've got their chance to put the hurt on the turret.
Yeah, they stay true to the goal with this team. Keep the pace at an absolute high here. Zeyzal and Svenskeren constantly re-engaging for them to open up more opportunities. 50% of the bottom turret just taken off. Sneaky trying to fend off Doublelift there.
Yeah, and that was
just that.
A critical sidestep from Sneaky on that W. That would have procced the passive and potentially allowed him to actually follow through with the ultimate and get that kill.
Here's the Rift Herald, summoned up by Xmithie. Remember, Team Liquid lost 3 in the topside river to secure this objective. They need to get value out of its use, but it looks like they'll get a whole lot of nothing.
With the pace of these skirmishes, it's very hard to keep track of the cooldowns when you're in game like that. So you have to watch out for some of the key ones here. Now they've got Zeyzal flash ready.
Zeyzal is fearless. He just walks right up into the brush. He's going to be suppressed. Team Liquid trying to make this fight happen. It's going to be a shutdown for Xmithie. It's mid laner for mid laner, and Cloud9 get Xmithie too. It's a 1-for-2, and now they're looking to take the Drake.
Licorice way faster on that roam now, comes up, and with him arriving, there was no chance for TL to continue that fight. C9 taking control of this game. They will add a second Mountain Dragon here to their collection, giving them even more Baron threat. And you are seeing how well Nisqy is utilizing the ultimate here from Sylas, always finding a critical ult to take.
Here we go, replay coming up to show us exactly how Zeyzal started it off.
Yeah, he starts it off by getting Skarner ulted, and he flashes out to the top side and lives in the end. Jensen tries to get the kill there on Akali flipping over, but once they turn it and take down the Akali, as you mentioned, Licorice has the inside track for the roam of top laners, so he doesn't allow impact into the fight while they finish up the extra kill, leading to their #1 objective. And guess what? Zeyzal's back at it.
Zeyzal once again setting up the plays. The chains come down and Doublelift's taken out.
There was no mana there for Doublelift, so no ability to actually get out of that one, and he gets punished.
#1 goal for Team Liquid right now is planning ahead. It's so hard to plan ahead when C9 keep this current pace. Zeyzal, you have to track this guy because Cloud9 constantly are trying to start it off with the Alistar. He's even looking for it without his own ultimate.
I mean, just take a look at how low the farm is in this game. That tells you how aggressive the fights have been, how much these teams are scrapping. Not one person is even close to 10 CS a minute, which is a very standard mark, for these LCS players to hit.
The work for planning has to be laid first here for Team Liquid. They're trying to get those defensive wards in place. You can see through the top river, but C9 don't let them get any use out of it. Just head straight down the lane, take down the tower, another one falls.
17.5 minutes before first turret goes down is a very late mark here in this game, and is just further evidence of how focused both sides have been on the fighting. The other thing that stands out to me about this game is I think this is the first time we've really seen one team turn around the early lead the other one had built. Team Liquid, they were ahead early on. They had the 5-3 kill lead, but ever since then, Cloud9 has just showed up again and again off the back specifically of Zeyzal.
Yeah, you see Jensen here, 5 deaths already, has not been super effective, and Impact is very far behind in this 1v1, has actually tried to roam multiple times, and almost always it feels like is late to the show, and not able to really get anything out of those roams.
Yeah, this one really highlighting how Cloud9 value that team play. Bring together every extra member to play off of the strengths of their compatriots. Now, bottom side, they should be able to take that outer turret without another conflict. It is time now for Cloud9 to slowly gain the benefits of all the hard work they just put in for the last 5 minutes. This outer tower goes down without a fight, and there it is, a more bigger reward here for Licorice as he gets the solo gold.
And as Jensen's teleport comes back up and he can once again be a global threat, he again expends the perfect execution for no real gain, so that threat is diminished. He's not finding these kills he's looking for, but it is giving him the priority to take down this turret and bring this game a little bit closer.
Yeah, it was at least a trade of ults there with Sylas. He pushes him out, he grabs the turret, but you can really see very clearly where all the action has been. Mid jungle here, rather, for C9. These two players, 12 KP apiece, they have been extremely dominant. It's 10 deaths combined between Jensen and Xmithie. They are really being punished, it feels like, by this very, very fast pace that Cloud9 is setting for them.
Cloud9 will keep on defending that mid lane tier 1. They're holding on as good as they can to it. Team Liquid taking it down slowly but surely with the chip damage, but still not able to really bring that one out of the picture just yet.
Really like that point, Azil, because a lot of the mid laners in the LCS have been outspoken about the Cloud9 jungle mid duo. Power of Evil himself, before their matchup versus Cloud9, is the #1 thing he was looking out for.
Map still favoring Cloud9 as they push into Team Liquid territory. They take over the Skarner spires, makes it easier to catch Xmithie out, reduces his move speed, reduces his mana regeneration when he's not got those available to work with. Baron is on the table. 20 minutes now, the name of the game. Drake going to be spawning here in about 40 seconds too, as Team Liquid try to force their way back out into neutral territory.
Yeah, and I'm just expecting Cloud9 now to set up shop around this Baron, try to deny as much vision as possible, and utilize the really strong engage they have. Out of Fog, Alistar, as well as the Sejuani for Svenskeren are so damn hard to avoid.
And there's a big difficulty right now for Team Liquid for anyone to actually get within range of that Sejuani or Alistar. If you look at Xmithie, he's the one you would think would be the tankiest member that would be fine doing it. But since Skarner does not run Aftershock like a lot of the other tank junglers, not nearly as defensible as some of those other ones. Plus he's got just the pieces there for the Gargoyle of Stoneplate. Before you complete that, those pieces don't provide very much value at all. And without that active, he won't be able to survive to the same degree that even the support of Cloud9 can.
Yeah, I mean, that one pink ward that they're huddling on is as far up as their vision actually goes. You know, there's no wards over by that Baron pit, and that is why we see that blue trinket getting dropped. Svenskeren actually casting spells almost, you know, pretending that they're about to start it.
Bait him in.
Well, hey, you know you're in a good spot in the game when your top laner can solo down the Drake with nobody else nearby because they absolutely know it will never be contested. The map is just Cloud9's to play with right now as they force Xmithie away and take his flash.
Yeah, you can see how dangerous it is for Team Liquid. Now a flashless Skarner without the completed item. He's the target.
Here we go. Nisqy and Svenskeren going right into the fight, and Xmithie is gone. Jensen going to be taken very low as the AoE pours in, and Xmithie goes on a killing spree. It's 3-0. It's all C9.
It's only 22 minutes into the game, and already we're worried for the Team Liquid Nexus. This Baron will easily get picked up by Cloud9. They have the tools to tower dive, so they don't even have to stop at these outers. Nisqy's gonna go clean up the last one by himself in the meantime, and Cloud9 are due to get paid.
I mean, this is absolute dominance. Last game, well, we'll see if Doublelift can pick this up.
Yep, Doublelift at least gets one off the back end.
But I mean, last game, Cloud9 take a 21-minute Baron. This game, they take a 22-minute Baron again, now on that Red Bull Baron power play, looking to stack up the gold. You know, deal lethal damage, perhaps. As you're saying, they have such powerful engage and dive, and critical items really coming through across the board here for Cloud9. These champions are on such a strong point.
And for Team Liquid, the situation just grows worse and worse by the minute. Now, you are already struggling to maintain any control over the map. What are you going to do when everybody on Cloud9 is ready to go with Baron?
Well, they're not defending mid lane, that's for sure, and C9 have an open pass straight down mid. They can actually run it down right now. Team Liquid are all recalling, and that tower just evaporates.
Disappears before their very eyes, and C9 build that lead to 8K.
Yeah, it looks like TL are kind of making the call here that they need to get picks. You can see Jensen way up in the top lane there, you know, not actually in a position to defend. He is trying to draw members up to him. You know, their wave clear is actually not very good. Xayah is your main form of wave clear. That is not really strong. The Akali, it's way too dangerous for her to actually move forward and help with that wave clear. Same thing with Renekton. So, you know, they have to try to pull members up and make a play to buy time to survive this Baron.
I think they also need to keep Jensen up there as long as possible. If Team Liquid can hold on, nope.
Oh, here we go. Impact is in danger as Cloud9 collapses. Free pick for them, and the push is going right down bottom lane.
Yeah, he clearly thought he had no chance to get out. Didn't even use the ultimate there. Jensen is going to keep going, but Cloud9 aren't going to stop. They could potentially end the game.
Doors wide open here for C9 as they run it through. This Baron, they could end it before it even wears off.
This is an easy base race for the side of C9. TP coming in now for Jensen, but the dive's already going to be popping off. Xmithie going to be taken very low, taken down. Nisqy's in a killing spree, and TL's on the retreat. Nisqy gets shut down. Good pick up there from Jensen, and C9's going to be repelled. Doublelift's got the auto attacks, but Zeyzal has the headbutt pulverized. Licorice goes unstoppable, and C9 smack Doublelift in the mouth on their way out.
Yeah, they're going to keep pushing. There's 4 members here. Impact does have his ultimate available. You can see Jensen healing back up. They want to try to make something happen here, but Sneaky is untouched.
Only one Nexus turret remains. Impact on the front line, but how long can he stand? Nexus exposed. Team Liquid in danger. Jensen can do nothing to stop it. Zeyzal chases after him and grabs the kill. And Cloud9 are making this look easy.
I know many teams that would back off seeing the respawns there, but as you know, Cloud9 are not one of them. They end that second game here and now.
And what an impressive game again here. Absolute domination, it feels like, from Cloud9. They have really turned up the aggression. We have seen it demonstrated why the Alistar was banned out in games 1 and 2. Zeyzal critically finding so many engages, and you've got to look at the top side of the map here for Cloud9. So effective in this game, and it felt like TL's was able to get nothing done whatsoever.
not just Zeyzal on this Alistar, but that is back-to-back games now that we have seen Svenskeren do work on this Sejuani. I feel like you've got to find a better answer for it, because, and it pains me to say this, the Skarner's not doing it.
That's blasphemy.
I can't believe the words came out of my mouth, but you know I mean it when I say it then. This Sejuani is just putting on a clinic in the jungle.
It's hard for Skarner to control the pace of the game sometimes, and that is Team Liquid's #1 problem right now.
And for more on how Game 3 shook out and Cloud9 took the win, let's head back to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Flowers. I can't believe the words that just came out of your mouth, but we brought Meteos on the desk to help us understand this slugfest of a game and a series. Meteos, how have you felt about the way that both of these teams have absolutely attacked each other so far in the first 3?
This has been a great series to watch for me so far. And to me, it looks like C9 is just the stronger team thus far. I think we can overlook their Game 1 troll draft. But aside from that, they've just come out swinging and been playing very well.
Let's talk about the draft. We'll ignore Game 1 and we'll look at Game 3 here, where once again they find a melee mid laner for Nisqy by leaving up the Akali of all things for Jensen.
So the mid lane matchup was fine to me. The big problem is Cloud9 just bought it due with the Sejuani, and now they go into the second rotation with the first ban Trundle while you've already chosen a jungler. That tells you it's Sejuani. It's coming out 100%. They already have a Sylas. It's a good matchup with a melee. And then they choose to ban Karma as a response instead of targeting the Sejuani, giving up the MVP jungler Svenskeren, his best jungler, and just completely runs over Xmithie.
I mean, to some degree, it speaks to the respect that these teams are giving to the Karma, even though it hasn't necessarily...
They're sharing the same bag of chips, Dash.
It's a one bag of chips for everyone. They got to stay focused on the conversation around this game. Here's some early game stuff. Lots of action in the mid lane as Jensen will find the solo kill, but Sven grabs it back.
And I feel like Jensen came out of the gates with something to prove, but Svenskeren was absolutely right there to answer back. And the fact that C9 could suffer these early casualties, but then still continue to pull back, it could be a defining moment for them in this series.
Yeah, I think it is time for Liquid to rethink their Skarner pick, because it just seems like C9 is playing too aggressively. Usually Skarner is good in a slower game where your lanes can slowly, build up advantages and then you harvest dragons. But in this series, there are just so many plays, and Sejuani is just much stronger than Skarner in these scrappy fights.
Big part of it is actually because of the Skarner's slow pace and reliability on the ultimate. Team Liquid kept taking fights without those skills. They did not fight every single fight with the Skarner ultimate or the Renekton ultimate, and as a result, Cloud9 sees the opportunity. Just keep going. It doesn't matter, and they will win because Sejuani can offer you so much more whether she has her ultimate or not.
It was quite back and forth in the early game. Both teams finding wins. This is a big one, though, for Cloud9.
At the end of the fight, Renekton Skarner still have ultimate, and a really nice engage out of Zeyzal with a flash pulverize, following up his single headbutt. I
do think that from draft, it's super hard for Liquid to actually win these 5v5 engagements, because if you look at their champions, they don't have anyone tanky enough to survive the engage. You're getting Alistar comboed, you're getting Sejuani ulted. If you don't have someone that's tanky enough to, survive that, you're just gonna flop. So I feel like Jarvan is probably a good answer for Team Liquid. It's a champion that I expected to have really high priority in this series, but actually hasn't gotten picked yet. So maybe we'll see it for the next game.
Looking at Jarvan as an answer, because those kinds of statistics for Svenskeren cannot keep coming up if Team Liquid wants a chance in this series.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Svenskeren has gotten into Xmithie's head a little bit, but mostly just outplayed him in the last few games. Some of that does have to do with Skarner and just the capabilities of the champion, but thinking about the way fights played out past the mid-game, so often it was TL being later to the play and C9 finding the ways to initiate first.
Yeah, and it really feels like Team Liquid is being taken out of their comfort zone. They're not able to control the fights that they want to take because, like I mentioned, we keep talking, the Skarner wants to do it, and Jensen keeps finding himself, okay, I got something to prove, I need to make it into these fights and clean something up. But because the champions are so tanky, and because Nisqy, yes, you are Sylas, kind of that squishy mage, you always steal the Renekton ultimate. You're never going down.
Cloud9 is so good at using momentum. When they find it in a series, they just never let it drop, right? They keep it kind of there at the tip top the entire way through. Yes, following that set of replays there, we did have a few minutes of gameplay where not a whole lot happened. But in that time, it was Cloud9 just cycling vision around the Baron, keeping TL in the dark and making them question time and time again with a double mountain on the other side. Are they taking that Baron?
Right, I think even in those moments where there might not be action happening, there's so much pressure on Team Liquid at those moments because they just don't have any vision. As soon as the Baron spawned, you saw it was just kind of doomed for them. Cloud9's got 2 mountains, so if you give them 5 seconds alone with the Baron, it's gone. You've got to walk in, they've got full pinks, and
then this is what happens.
Yeah, you know, you're just kind of dead.
There's so much AoE CC, and look at that Alistar. That's just a crazy engage. This champion, I see why it was banned 2 games in a row. Really don't expect it to be given to Zeyzal again. I mean, just too much of an impact, and against CoreJJ's best pick of the Rakan as well. So really showing up that he has an answer to it, and it has to be responded.
I would like to see Team Liquid go for more of, you know, these skirmishing champions. I think that even if you give up Alistar, taking something like Braum into it is a good response. It's always been pretty solid because, like I was saying before, you just need someone who can survive their engage. When Braum puts up his E, he's not going to get one-shot by these ultimates. And the difference between getting one shot in the engage and not getting one shot is pretty huge. So I think that if TL can adapt and play more into this skirmishing style, that they could possibly come back.
Series score stands at 2-1. Cloud9 with side select goes back to blue side, keeping in the trend of the series itself. But this is not necessarily unfamiliar territory for TL. We have to remember that they were down 0-2 in their last final against TSM, and so in fact they better positioned this time around. They are more than capable of bringing this back. But Jat, from the red side, what's the answer?
It's going to be difficult. I find it interesting because TL hasn't been able to keep up with the skirmishing style, but to me, the game they won is because they had a substantially better 5v5. And the last 2 games where they lost, they did have a worse 5v5. I do want to see Xmithie on a Jarvan or a Sejuani, but for the rest of it, I want to see TL get back to basics, win 5v5 team fights, actually use their teleports first towards bottom lane when a skirmish happens there instead of letting C9 just pile down onto Doublelift over and over again. And I think that's their best chance of using their experience and pulling it back.
So I want to pose you a question. What do you think about Team Liquid on red side? Give up the Yuumi, target Nisqy even more, really double down on taking away his mid laners, and that should slow down the pace of the mid lane action.
I think that could be a good approach. I don't know if it's actually possible to shut down Nisqy because it seems like he's pretty proficient on lots of champions. You know, you've got Irelia, Qiyana, Sylas. I don't know if you can fully ban him out.
At this point, he's going to be able to play an aggressive mid lane melee champion, and I think there's nothing that TL can do.
What I'm thinking, if you give up the Yuumi, C9 first picks it, and you open up taking the Akali and taking some of those away for yourself. Too.
What I think TL's best strategy here coming into Game 4 would just be to play around their strengths. TL has always done well when they play through bottom. We saw in Game 1 where they won, they were playing around bottom pretty well, and then in Games 2 and 3, they were kind of taking, you know, defensive bot lane picks. And the second one, they blinded Tom Varus, which is kind of just like a I don't want to lose lane. You're probably going to go even in most situations. And then in Game 3, they took away the Rakan to break up the Xayah Rakan combo. So it seems like they're kind of playing not to lose bottom when, you know, this whole season they've won games through winning bottom. So I feel like they should go back to that kind of style.
That was actually the criticism that Doublelift threw at TSM in the finals as well. So maybe it's coming back to bite them.
Theme of the weekend has been play what you are comfortable with. Go back to what has always worked for you. Cloud9 are 1 win away from earning their first title in 5 years. See if they can snap the drought in Game 4.
They're going to be knowing this Sejuani can be heading their way.
No more sustain in the mid lane.
Nisqy, he's in trouble, and he's first blood. Svenskeren is going to be the focus here at the beginning. CoreJJ and Doublelift coming around from behind. Jensen's able to grab kill number 1. Sneaky's going to be dropping down for kill number 2.
I'm going to Renekton dead here. Look, Rakan's 1 HP. Keep fighting. I'm coming. We can fight.
She's going to be suppressed. Team Liquid trying to make this fight happen. It's going to be a shutdown for Xmithie. It's mid laner for mid laner.
I got him.
Renekton behind you.
Skarner. Peel. Look at Sneaky. Renekton. Renekton's 1 HP. He's dead. Baron.
Nice. How long can he stand? Nexus exposed. Team Liquid in danger. Jensen can do nothing to stop it.
I had a tournament in New York. and we got second in the world. So now I've taken another leap, which is to build my own company. My goal was to help other people who want to turn streaming into a career. The biggest thing you have to realize is it's a team game.